This is Oscar acceptance speech. I, like millions of shining young hopefuls, blossoming actors and actresses who have not yet had their hopes and dreams crushed by reality, go over in my head each distinct and sparkling detail of that monumental honor that is the opportunity to give an Oscar acceptance speech. I do not do so because I am so incredibly naive or vain to believe this event has any kind of certainty in my near future, but because I know even now what I would tell them. I know even now what is important to me. I know even now what people don't ever hear. I know even now that in this culture, we never truly value the arts, as much as academics, as much as sports, or as much as politics. Because regardless of the fact that art has changed the course of history time and time again, it will always be the afterthought, always be second best. I would tell the 35 million people who watch the Oscars of the pains of being an artist, of being told that is not a real job, not a real profession. You'll never make it as an artist. Yet no one ever reminds young athletes that at most there is a 9% chance they'll make it professionally. I would tell them of a piece of the Berlin Wall I once saw. The east side, a desolate blank canvas, the gray expanse, a physical sign that all creativity, all nuance of thought, any departure from the new norm would result in also being depleted, being nothing, being forgotten. The West Side screams in outright rebellious contrast, a testament to what the creative mind is willing to risk to get their vision onto any surface. Each streak of paint was the risk of being shot by a guard, yet every inch of that wall is still covered in protest and civil disobedience, cries for help, sobbing and disgusted. Pledges to give everything for the sake of speaking one's mind. I would tell them how each of those images stood more powerful than any physical element that broke down that wall. That art was what inspired and pushed and cried to people. Art was what moved people to fight with every bone in their body, the injustices they faced, to risk death to pass on any ounce of information that promised a better tomorrow. Now, I could have been somewhat clever and made this all fit into the time one is allowed for an Oscar acceptance speech, but one cannot fit a revolution into 45 seconds. The only place, deceptively too small, that can fit inside of it, the revolution of the century, is the mind of an artist. My mind and the mind of every person who stands on this stage tonight, who has ever stood on this stage, and who will ever stand on this stage. Thank you.